beautiful night here in downtown Orlando, and you look at this real jewel here in Central Florida, the new Amway Center, which opened a month ago. 18,846, as nice a building as we've seen in the NBA. Here are our Sonic starting lineups tonight for the Jazz and the Magic. Utah brings Darren Williams, Raja Bell, who's back here with Utah, Andre Kirilenko, the aforementioned Millsap off the career night last night, and Al Jefferson, who came over from Minnesota in the offseason. For the Magic, 5-1, 4-0 here at home. Jameer Nelson back, missed that last game against Atlanta with the ankle injury. Vince Carter, Rashard Lewis. This team struggling from the outside with their three-point shots. Brian Anderson gets the start tonight at power forward, and Dwight Howard at the center. Orlando beat Atlanta, I should say, on Monday night by 4. And if there's any small problem Stan Van Gundy's had with his team so far, it's been their three-point shooting. This was the record-setting three-point make team last year. They're not making them right now.
No, last year, Mike, they made close to 11 a game. This year, they're shooting only 32%. A year ago, 37. That's a major drop-off when you say 5 percentage points in three-point shooting. Now, it will clear itself up because their best guys are the ones that are struggling.
So Stan Van Gundy on the other side. 24-year veteran Bob Delaney's our lead official tonight. Rodney Mott will throw the ball up in the center circle. Scott Wall, the third official, and we're underway. And Andre Kirilenko misses the layup to start.
Now, well, you can see right there, Andre Kirilenko could not get up to dunk the ball. His leg gave way on him, Mike. Now, he has a bad calf. That's why he didn't play during the summer.
And we're both watching him as he comes back up. Vince Carter misses the outside shot for the Magic, and here comes Darren Williams. Tough matchup at the point guard spot for Jameer Nelson tonight.
Now, this ball club is excellent in half-court movement. They move the basketball, a lot of inside passing, like right there. They overpass sometimes, but you love the team chemistry.
Kirilenko came driving in. The first foul is picked up by Rashard Lewis of the Magic. QB Utah coming off that win at Miami. They won a double overtime against the Clippers the game before that. It's been kind of a herky-jerky start to their season so far at 4-3.
Well, I think when you look at them, Mike, you have to say that their shooting percentage is down from 49 to 45 from a year ago. That's their first problem. The other problem is their defense. Last year, they only gave up right at 99 a game. This year, it's 104. That is inexcusable. You say, well, they don't have a core 7-footer in there, another shot blocker. You're right, but this team is better than that.
Mehmet Okur ruptured his Achilles tendon in the playoffs last April. Is on his way back. He's back in Utah, continuing his rehab. Can't get a clear definition from anybody with the Jazz on when he's going to be back, but he's getting close. Look at the fight by Kirilenko with Ryan Anderson to force the jump ball.
Mike, Kirilenko stole the opening tap with a great move. Good quickness, long arms. Now, right there, you can see he's got long arms. He's been on the all-defensive team a number of times, and he can play big people, small people. He can play anyone on the front line.
10 years already in the league for Andre Kirilenko.
Seems like only yesterday.
Doesn't it? It really does.
I'll tell you, Mike, in the early 2000, he was an excellent three-point shooter, and I'm glad to see he's back. He's 7 for 11 right now on the season.
Does so many different things. That's a couple of those 5x5s, different and five different stats. There's Millsap seeing a lot of attention, and he knocks it down inside. So Carlos Boozer goes to Chicago. Millsap gets the starters minutes, and boy, has he excelled here in the first few weeks of the season.
Mike, he can play with his back to the basket, and now he's improved that outside shot facing. Range is not a factor.
Again, the hands of Kirilenko forcing another turnover. He's been everywhere in the first minute 30 of this one.
Well, you know he's matched up with a guy that is not a good dribbler, and he'll take advantage of that.
Al Jefferson, the new part here on Utah, and it has been a struggle for him to get involved in Utah's pattern set plays that Jerry Sloan has run for years.
Like when you put in a guy in the Utah Jazz, they run a number of sets. Everything is dictated by where the pass goes. things will change out of a call. It's extremely difficult for a young guy, especially if you're coming from a place that had a simple offense.
Up against Dwight Howard, kicked it back out. 3 on the shot clock. We're going to get 3 seconds before that call on Utah. Hubie, just a sub there early in the game to go to a sub. But Stan Van Gundy brings in Brandon Bass for Ryan Anderson. Kind of a rotation at that spot as Jeff is trying to figure out what's the best unit for this night.
Well, Bass is a monster on the boards. Plus, he's shooting a nice percentage, and he can defend. And what he's doing here is he's taking Anderson out of the game because of the turnovers.
And Bass knocks down the outside shot for the Magic. I said Jeff. I meant Stan, of course.
Yeah, I like what we see out of Bass. Bass is a tough dude. And we know that he's a late bloomer. He came out of LSU. Everyone thought he would go much higher than the second round. But he's made himself into a guy who can contribute.
Stan did tell us that that would be the matchup he liked the best against Millsap. But Brandon picking up the personal foul there. I mentioned Jeff. 1, Freudian slip. 2, I was talking to his parents earlier, who, as you know, are down here. They're at every game. Talked to Bill and Cynthia beforehand, and Stan's mom and dad are here so often for the games. I was talking to Bill about the new place, this building. What an amazing building. And, you know, old coach, what did he say? First thing, hey, it's still 94 feet by 50 feet on the floor, you know? Yeah, you see Mr. Van Gundy back there?
Like a guy who has coached at every level.
and then his wife checked in and said, remember the first place you were in California where it wasn't 94 by 50. The court was small. I said, I bet you they have good half-court offenses there. You know, the old CYO type places, the low ceilings, all that stuff.
It's a battle right here tonight. Jameer Nelson and also Darren Williams. Should be exciting between the two of them.
Is Howard facing on Jefferson, much more confident offensive player with a variety of moves, but Jefferson gets to the block. 3 to shoot for Nelson. Howard going aggressively at the basket and a chance for the three-point play.
The other night when Atlanta played against Orlando, it was a close game right to the end. Game was up for grabs with 2 minutes to go. Now, this guy, he is moving and spinning, looking for that hook off the glass. But I like what we saw there. Jefferson timed it perfectly. Now, when they played against Atlanta would foul him right there, send him to the line immediately, and not give him a chance to make a three-point play.
Free throw shooting, always a story with Dwight, 55% this year. Misses that one. 2-point Utah lead about 3 minutes in to this opening quarter of NBA Wednesday.
The Utah offense, a lot of continuity, great screening away from the ball.
Williams over Nelson, scoring at a high clip, 22nd in the league in this early juncture, 20 points a game. And Darren's been vocal. He wants the offense at a little higher tempo. Nelson had Jefferson there. Howard on the glass. Travel.
Now they're lucky there. The Jazz get a break. Now you can see early on, Howard is really active here this evening. In the stand-up, we try to bring out the fact that he's getting 14 shots a game. Now, over the last couple of years, he had less than 10 a game. So he's getting 14 shots, plus he's getting to the foul line 12 times. That means that he's getting a lot of catches.
That's been a story over the last couple of years. Frustration late in games, offense not running through. We forget it is his 7th year. He's only 25 come December here. Crashing the glass, Jefferson couldn't get it. Rashard Lewis comes away with it. He has been very cold from the outside this year, Lewis. Nine for 32 shooting threes this year. And a fresh shot clock for the point guard, Nelson. Clear out the space for Dwight. Raja Bell came with the double, and it's Jameer for 3. Knocks it down.
Yeah, I like that. If you see the double coming and you do not have a strong move in mind, pass it out. If he's open, he'll shoot it. If not, he'll come right back to you.
Williams cutting inside. Brandon Bass was waiting for him, and it hit Darren as he hit the deck. Magic ball.
Now keep an eye on the double team. See the double team right there. Bell is there. Kick it back out. Beat the rotation. If Nelson gets covered, he'll come right back to you when you're in a one-on-one.
Rajah Bell, defensive specialist, returning to Utah this year. The Lakers were interested. He got picked by Howard, and Vince used the rim for 2.
Now, you like to see Carter take it all the way to the rim. That's something that he has to do throughout the 82 games and in that playoff time. They were not happy last year getting only 15 points a game in the series that they bowed out.
To Boston after 2 sweeps early on. Kirilenko gets bumped on the way and comes to the line. Orlando's first lead of the night given to them by Carter.
Now you're going to see Vince right here. And as soon as he saw he had the big man, take him off the dribble, take him strong to the rim, and then come up on the other side. That negates the potential shot block. Now, we know that Vince, for years in Toronto and in New Jersey, scored over 20 points a game. For his career, he came here averaging 22. Now, last year, they did not like the numbers during the season. Well, he's getting less shot attempts, 17 points. But then at playoff time, only 15. They want him to get to the foul line. Now you can see right there, that's what happened at playoff time. So the people are saying, hey, the field goal percentage was down. We didn't like the fact that you didn't get to the line more often. Well, this team here, it's not a successful season now unless they get to the finals and win the championship.
They have been so good over the last few years, and they have a lot of big-ticket items here to get there right now. Quentin Richardson, turned over there by Orlando. He just checked into the game at that last foul because it was the second on Rashard Lewis. So Richardson added to this group this year after a year in Miami. Checks in. Jameer goes to the deck to get it. Kirilenko again on the floor. That's 5 times in 5 minutes and 15 seconds for Kirilenko on the deck.
Now remember, he's 6'9". We're not talking about a guy 6'2" or 6'3".
Has to beat the clock. Rajah Bell gets the rebound, bouncing to him. Williams saw a little opening and finds Jefferson.
Jefferson's got to learn how to create the passing lane when Williams goes to the basket, because he's extremely unselfish. He'll give it to you, but you've got to go where you're comfortable. Create the pass.
Early timeout for Orlando halfway through the quarter. Off a back-to-back. People wonder how Utah's going to do. So far, a good energy start. Millsap off the 46-point night with an early hoop. Jefferson the flush. Magic have turned it over 4 times. Back here in Orlando at the beautiful new Amway Center, they have an area where the kids can hang out. The Ozone back up there. They almost made as many consecutive field goals as the Pacers did last night. It was a wild night all around the NBA, let alone Millsap's personal record performance. How about what Indiana did in their 54-point third quarter at home at Conseco Fieldhouse against Denver? Now, the Pacers scored 59. They had a good first half, but they scored 54 in the third, including 20 consecutive field goals, the first 20 of the quarter. And then poor Josh McRoberts had no idea that history was on his fingertips when he missed that 3. The only miss of the quarter. They went 20 of 21. Not only their win by 31, Hubie, the Lakers and Hornets we'll discuss later, both won to remain unbeaten, and Paul Millsap's career-high 46, including 11 of the final 28 seconds to send it to overtime in Miami.
Well, I like what we're seeing out west. New Orleans doing a terrific job. Young coaching staff, team buying in, and great defense.
Here's Quentin Richardson, checked in at that last whistle. Carter from the outside, he misses the 3. Jefferson gets the rebound. Have you ever seen something like Indiana making 20 field goals to start a quarter?
Mike, I've been around since 1973. I've never even heard of that, all right? At any level, okay? It was just a great night. And naturally, people say to McRoberts, you know, how come you took the shot? Well, players don't understand how many shots they made in a row. They know they're just having a great quarter.
Jefferson shoots over Howard and hits a couple of field goals. It's a 5-point lead. Jeff Foster on the Indiana bench was the one who told them when they came over at the end of the quarter that you guys made all 20 shots until that one. Still a great night for the Pacers in one of the best buildings in the NBA, Conseco Fieldhouse. And this is right up there with them, as Howard had good position. Foul called on the inside on Jefferson.
When you play Orlando and Howard is involved in a screen from the foul line out to the top of the circle, he's going to roll down into that defensive circle and he's going to post you up. You cannot stay behind him. If you do, you're going to foul him for sure. You're better off fronting him and see if they can throw a lob over the top.
Swing it over to Howard. Kirilenko showed the double for a second. As soon as he went away, Howard went right at it.
I like what he did because he hesitated on the move, Mike, and he got the defender to relax. Then he made the next move, and once he gets up high, you can't stop that jump shot.
Is that a visual of that magic patience word we talk about so often with players?
That baby hook is there for him now, and he has the confidence.
Raja Bell able to knock that one down. Bell had an injury-plagued season last year with the wrist injury, but the last 7 seasons he's played, double digits in scoring. In addition to that good defense, is a Brandon Bass moving screen, and a foul on Orlando gets to Utah.
Now keep an eye on Dwight. Now watch how he hesitates. See, now when he takes that big step and the jump, stop. When you go up on that baby hook, you have to remember, now the guy's 7 foot, and his body, his upper body now, I like what you brought out today. You asked him whether he gained some weight. But he's lifting, religiously, and you can see he's spreading out. He's getting more powerful.
He's just getting more mature. It's almost stupid to say, Dwight, you look like you're in great shape. He's looked like he's in great shape since he walked into a gym.
You know what we forget sometimes? I forget. Not you. You never forget anything. He's only 25.
I know. It's amazing. Hey, Marcin Gortat came in when Brandon Bass picked up his second foul. So both bigs out there for the Magic. Howard and Gortat. Nelson comes in, and Gortat gets the weak side rebound on cue.
I like it when they play Gortat with Howard. Because Gortat he's agile enough that he can match up with power forwards. And in this game, he'll be matched up with Millsap, so that's okay.
Williams, contact with Nelson. The foul is called on Jameer. You know, Hubie, you talk about the options Stan Van Gundy has to go with Gortat and Howard. He has so many options on this team. He can go with a different lineup depending on what the other team presents as a problem for that night.
Well, we know there's a guy sitting over there that's not going to get very many minutes, and that's Petrus. Petrus can defend. He can shoot the 3. He's done it for you at playoff time. Plus, he's a blur on the fast break.
There is Michael Petrus, Air France, as he likes to refer to himself. From Guadeloupe, from France, outstanding player. Miami and Boston, the first of their anticipated meetings, comes tomorrow night. The TNT doubleheader, including the Lakers in Denver. We'll see the Jazz continue this road trip in Atlanta on Friday. Also, Portland against Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City. And on NBA TV on Sunday, the Rockets off to a very disappointing start in New York to take on Amari Stoudemire and the Knicks. The national TV games coming up this week as we get to the 3rd week of the NBA season. Howard called for the walk for the 2nd time tonight.
Yes, he lifts the pivot foot before the ball leaves his hand. Now that's twice now that they've got him on the same type of a move. Now just keep an eye. See, they're going to him. Now watch when he switches. See how he jumped? He moved the pivot foot before the ball was out of his hand. Now that's something that you really have to work on. But you know what? I like the fact that he's looking for the move.
Millsap the miss. Jameer Nelson brings the Magic back the other way. Slow offensive start for Orlando. Richardson will take 3. And he misses. Here comes D-Will, Darren Williams. Smooth with his moves to Jefferson. A little bit long, and Gortat's on the glass again.
Well, when Utah breaks, Mike, you have to pay attention to Millsap as well as Jefferson.
Nobody stopped the ball, and Howard cleans up the miss for 2.
We have 2 of the best offensive rebounders in the game here tonight. Millsap at one end, Howard at the other. Both are getting over 3 a game, and that's a lot.
3 already for Dwight. As the Jazz lead is cut to 3, and it's going to go the other way. Foul called on Utah.
Now that was just a beautiful curl move by Kirilenko. Jefferson has got to understand. Set the screen and move to the rim.
Timeout here in the beautiful new Amway Center, where, yes, one day you can grow to be Dwight Howard's size. Well, maybe not. It's a good thought anyway.
Stuart Scott in the studio at the Sports Center right now. Some NFL news. Tom Brady missed practice today with the foot sprain. It is not expected to keep him out of Sunday's game when the Patriots take on the Steelers. But there will be a quarterback change in South Florida. A Chad for a Chad. Chad Pennington will start in place of Chad Henne. Last week, Henne threw 3 interceptions. All right, let's go back to basketball. And Hubie, guys.
Stewart, thank you from the state that gave us the hanging Chad. We remind you aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. For the most sports period, call 1-800-DirecTV. Let me remind you, we have a college football action going tomorrow night. Pittsburgh looking like the best team in the Big East, taking on Connecticut. That comes through a 7:30 Eastern time. And then every game so crucial and with so much interest from Boise State, you'll see Chris Peterson's team take on Idaho. Their in-state battle. That's Friday night, 9 Eastern, to start your college football weekend, ESPN and ESPN2. Of course, great weekend action. College game day will be in Columbus for Ohio State, and the visit by Joe Paterno and Penn State. Here it is, Utah by 3. Jazz coming off the big win in Miami last night. Second of a back-to-back. Chris Duhon comes in as Jameer Nelson goes to the bench. Vince Carter couldn't rattle that one home. And early here, 7 of 17 from the field for the Magic even.
Yeah, right now they're struggling in their three-point game. They're 1 for 5. And then also, Mike, 6 turnovers, uncharacteristic of this team.
Williams got Duhon, a little bit of a drive. Couldn't hit the outside shot. C.J. Miles has come in for Utah to join Raja Bell, Millsap, Williams, and Al Jefferson. Howard went to the moves. It was a quick hand by Bell that knocked it away, and the turnovers continue here for the Magic.
Yeah, he's got 3 turnovers right now. That time he tried to go too fast.
Millsap sizes up Howard.
Nice.
High on the release because of the shot blocking exploits of Howard. Tops in the league the last couple of years doing that.
Dwight Howard did not give up on that play. There you go. Nice.
Quentin Richardson knocks down the 3.
Mike, that time he took his time, let the double team come all the way, made the diagonal pass. Beautiful execution.
Millsap rolling to the basket, shoveled it for Jefferson coming on down. And a nice putback by Jefferson, set up by a good feed from Millsap.
See, this is a team that gives you 24 assists a game. And the reason is their interior passing. They're the best team in the league from the foul line down in creating and then making the pass.
And another turnover, a third traveling violation call. 8 turnovers total. Stan Van Gundy, what in the wide world of our new arena is going on here?
Well, I like the defensive effort that we're seeing from Utah, especially since they played last night, traveled during the evening to get here. But the big thing is right now, Orlando they're hyped up. They have so much energy. They're going before they're reading the defense.
4th-year player from the Ukraine, Kirill Fesenko, is checked in as Raja Bell knocks down the outside shot, and the Jazz up the lead back to 4.
Mike, this is the guy that's got to get going. Raja Bell's got his game. You got to get it together, get back into the feel of being with the Jazz again.
Howard inside was held, Bob Delaney says, and the foul is called.
Fesenko played him well. I thought he did a very nice job there. But once he made the move into the paint, the best thing you can do is just go up and pressure the shot. Force him to shoot over you because you are so big and you take up a lot of space.
We see Dwight's numbers here at the start. His team has not been involved in many close games. They had blowouts with Washington, a blowout loss against Miami. Had a game in here with Minnesota that they won by 42. Game was not competitive from the second quarter on. Finally had a couple of close games here, winning at Charlotte by 3, and then the Monday game you talked about, beating Atlanta by 4.
Yeah, I thought the Atlanta game was a good game for both teams. They both showed an improvement in areas of the game that must get better as they go through this season.
Lane violation on Quentin Richardson.
Wow.
So he finally makes one. Howard had missed his first couple from the line, but you wipe that out. And it has been a very frustrating quarter for the Magic fans as well. That's a violation which becomes a turnover, and that's 9 already in the first quarter.
Mike, the people are all upset here. I know that a lot of the booing was for the referees, except for one thing. Referees are calling a very quick, clean game.
Williams tried to go 2 for 1 and get a quick 3, and this is going to be a loose ball foul on Fesenko.
Fesenko definitely cleared out his man. Come on, you're a big fella. You're taking up a lot of space. Go up with your hands up, not with your hands out to the side and pushing people out of there. Because you have to understand, when you come into the game at the end of the quarter, you're going to be putting people at the foul line because of the penalty.
2 quick fouls on Fesenko. There's that big old 7'4" wingspan, but he can't get out of his own way right now. And Dwight back at the line. It's not for lack of work. He has put year after year a lot of work into his free throw attempts, and was telling us today about his routine, whether it's in India or China or Haiti as he was traveling this year. All the effort he put into his shooting, his outside shooting. You see the free throw percentage has not come along, no matter what he's tried.
And he's always going to be in the top 3 guys in the league, Mike, in foul shot attempts. Mainly, once again, he's over 12 a game this season. And we can see why, because he's really active, and I like the offense because they're going to him.
Williams tried to go the 2-for-1 on the other end earlier with the quick shot. It ends up costing his team a couple of points. Now they'll run some clock down with Chris Duhon, the former Bull, and Nick defending him. C.J. Miles, nice slip pass to Fesenko, couldn't finish. Shot clock off for the Magic. Carter, a deep 3. Oh, Vince Carter beats the horn with a 3. And the Magic take a 1-point lead to the end of the quarter despite 9 turnovers.
Now you're going to see right now excellent ball movement by Orlando as the clock is going down. Vince Carter nails it, but he is an excellent 3-point shooter, high percentage guy.
Time now for Charles Schwab Talk to the Coach with Jerry Sloan. Your team down 1, but you played most of that quarter pretty well, very active on defense. Were you happy with that effort?
Well, we were a little bit better on defense because we had a little better shot selection for the most part, and I think that helped us.
Back-to-backs, we always talk about that. Do you like your team's energy at the start?
Yeah, we had a lot more than what we had last night. Hopefully it carries out.
And finishes that well. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
It was a struggle last night in Miami in the first half, the big halftime deficit that they erased. Hubie, you go from Miami to Orlando to play because you obviously have the geography. Back-to-back nights. Utah, the second of a half dozen teams that have to go this way, go to that whole big stage of playing the big 3, and then come to Orlando. 8 teams go the other way, go Orlando, then to Miami during the season.
Very difficult because you're talking about 2 of the 4 or 5 best teams in basketball, and you're playing them back-to-back. And they are off the night before. So extremely difficult for any team coming in, and I don't care how good your team is. They are going to test you, both of these clubs.
Marcin Gortat was moving, and the foul was called for the illegal screen. J.J. Redick lined up to take that shot. Redick checking into the Magic lineup. Francisco Elson, who hit the game-winning free throws last night in Miami, is checked in for Utah to join Jefferson. C.J. Miles, who knocks down that shot. Kirilenko and Darren Williams to start the second.
Yeah, they need Miles for the second unit to score the basketball. And then also Kirilenko and then Jefferson to help out here so that the club gets some points.
Redick struggling front 3, just 3 of 18 shooting thus far this year. Richardson is long, and Williams comes away with the rebound.
Right now, the Orlando struggling. They are 3 for 8 in threes. But at the other end, Utah is not a 3-point shooting team.
Jefferson off the mark. You can see Al Jefferson getting with the flow of what Utah does. He even told me before the game, said it has been difficult to understand all the options off the plays because so many guys have been here running them for so long.
The offense is built on spacing, and that's what we mean. If you haven't been in those kind of sets, it's extremely difficult. Can you believe? I can't believe it. This is 11 turnovers, my God. This is absolutely, and 5 of them have been on pivot play of spinning so that you can face up to the basket.
And Stan Van Gundy is asking Scott Wall in this game, are you sure these are travels? Most of them have been pretty clear as traveling violations. Jazz leading by 1. This Utah team that has always been a perennial under Jerry Sloan. This is a team that maxes out during the regular season. Kirilenko Did not catch there. Brandon Bass leading the push, and he's fouled from behind as he was driving. Hubie, you can take out a scouting report from 15 years ago for Utah, and it's the same stuff. They're running the same plays. Obviously, it's the players, but why does this guy get so much out of his teams year in, year out?
Well, first of all, it's dictated by discipline and then also accountability. They're a no-nonsense operation. Everybody realizes that you're going to run the plays and run them perfectly, or you're going to sit down on the bench. And the old story at professional sports, if I take away your minutes, well, then naturally you're an unhappy guy.
J.J. Redick on the nice take for the hoop in his 5th year now out of Duke. J.J. Redick has put so much into his game to be more than just a perimeter shooter. And during the finals a couple of years ago against the Lakers, Stan Van Gundy really earned trust in J.J. Redick's game all court, not just the three-point specialist. Kirilenko off the curl. And Gortat secures.
If Utah is going to get better, when they put that second group out here like they have out right here right now, they've got to score the ball. The first unit, you know, can keep your kite on the road, or they're ahead. You cannot get behind.
And as Ronnie Price came in for Darren Williams, just these 2 trips without Williams, you've seen the offense not look as flowing, as confident. Price from the top with 7 to shoot. Elson's going to have to give it to Jefferson for the 9-1-1 shot. And he beats the buzzer for 2.
Well, we know that when he plays and makes a catch with his back to the basket, he's a high percentage shooter. That's how he's played all his life.
Here's Duhan caught in the corner. Brandon Bass goes to the basket, and Elson's length denies him.
Well, Elson's a good shot blocker, Mike. He came right over that time and helped out, got a piece.
8 years in the league for Francisco. Elson is 34 years old, spent a good 4 years in Spain after his time in college, including at Cal. Jefferson went to the moves, and he's called for the travel. So for all of you who say they don't call traveling in the NBA, we present the first 15.5 minutes of this one. It's happening at beautiful arena. As good a building as we've seen in the NBA. The Amway Center. Folks checking out those new concession stands.
Our guys noticed when Dwight came back this year in September and at the start of camp was, you know, how much more serious he was. Always been a good worker, but always liked to, you know, joke around in between plays and things like that. I think they noticed a big difference. Well, in noticing the big difference and then combining it with a guy who had clearly worked hard in the offseason to get better, now he earns the right to speak up more and to talk to other people.
Doing a little bit of that with his play, and even though Hubie has turned the ball over a few times, still being aggressive with his offense. Dwight Howard putting the offseason work to in-season application.
Well, there's no doubt about that. He is proving it here tonight, mainly on either side of the lane. Also the fact that he's working the offensive board. He already has 3 offensive rebounds. The problem right now are the turnovers, 3 turnovers.
Off the ball, we have a whistle and a foul, as we're just going to say Gordon Hayward checked in for Utah before he could get that out of our mouth. Called for the foul. He's the rookie out of Butler. That dream season the kids from Indianapolis had, coming 7 miles down from campus to play in the Final Four at Lucas Oil Stadium, and almost beating Duke as he guards one of the Duke greats, J.J. Redick, for the next few moments here. Rashard Lewis spinning baseline. His shot rims out. But the offensive board is a fresh clock. Lewis going right at Miles for 2.
I like them posting him up. Back in the early 2000s, when he played in Seattle, that left side of the board, he was a very difficult cover because he could pick and face you, foul line extended, or he could post you up. And that fadeaway is difficult. He's 6'9", 6'10". Jefferson singled by Gortat. The re-entry by Price, and Jefferson called for a travel. Now there's definitely an emphasis from the league office on the travel call tonight. And I also like the fact that the refs are not backing off.
Right.
They are calling it at both ends of the floor. You have got to adjust. Stop looking at them. Come on now. We have a ton of turnovers, especially in the post, at least 7.
Lewis bodying Miles. Duhan takes the 3. He's off the mark, and 3 dark Utah jerseys around the board.
Without Okor in the lineup, it's good to see Elson. He's got to make a contribution. And last night he made the big 2 foul shots to solidify that win down in Miami.
There's Hayward, who has a terrific shot. Ninth pick in the draft. Now he's got Rashard Lewis as they were on opposite sides of the floor coming down for this trip.
Oh, nice cut.
Redick heading it back to Brandon Bass, big World Cup fan, and Bass is fouled on the shot by Elson.
You always tell your players the cardinal sin of defense is fouling a jump shooter. Just go up, apply the pressure, don't foul the guy. Force him to make the shot, because if he makes the shot, he shoots 50%, it's great. If he goes to the foul line, he shoots 80%, it's a bad foul.
Pass is one more. You can watch your favorite team at home on the road anywhere. The NBA League Pass lets you see games from outside your home market on your TV, computer, and mobile phone. Call your local cable, satellite, or telco provider today, or log on to NBA.com/League Pass. You're able to watch whatever action you want.
Now, Mike, tonight we have 2 of the better teams in the league getting to the foul line. Utah 28 times a game, and then Orlando 29.
Largest lead for the Magic at 2. See the free throw trips tonight.
They keep missing Millsap posting up in the paint.
C.J. Miles able to hit the fading shot. His 6th year straight out of high school in Dallas, Texas. Went to Skyline High School. All even at 28, halfway through the second. Mike Tirico, Hubie Brown with you. Our NBA Wednesday, Game 2. The Clippers in San Antonio to take on the 5-1 Spurs. And Marcin Gortat from Poland, now in his 4th year in the league, he puts Orlando back on top.
Yeah, Gortat is a hard worker, and he's an excellent offensive rebounder.
Miles flips it over the shoulder to Millsap. Good recognition by Gortat there. Left in the corner for Price. Duhan back for Orlando. Interesting point guard situation Stan Van Gundy has. Jameer Nelson is starter. Duhan off the bench. Another turnover by the Magic. And he also has Jason Williams.
Well, they're protected in case of an injury. When Nelson was out, they start Duhan. Jason Williams came in off the bench and was solid. So it's a smart move for them because they're thinking of the long haul.
A beautiful pass by Jefferson, but for some reason Miles didn't feel he could go up and elevate enough to get the shot off. And he forced the turnover. Duhan used the screen. Good ball movement by Redick to Lewis. Strange not seeing Orlando hit these threes.
Remember, a year ago they attempted 27 a game, made 10. This year they attempt 26, they make 8. Their shooting percentage is down.
Ronnie Price will not enjoy the film review of that solo journey. Nothing going offensively. Rare you see Utah possessions like that. Redick. Another 3 off the mark. 3 of 10 from behind the long line. Price going right at it. And it's going to go the other way with the foul.
I mean, this is very difficult to watch. Okay? I mean, we are seeing some bad offensive play here.
Can I get you some food? The dinner's good.
No. Only 19 turnovers in the game up until now. Okay?
All right, I'll get you dinner. We'll be right back. You look at I-4 in front of the Amway Center, and we remind you that the Jazz leave here and head to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. That starts our NBA Friday doubleheader. Then Brandon Roy in Portland will be in Oklahoma City to take on Kevin Durant and the Thunder. Our NBA Friday doubleheader here on ESPN coming up in a couple of nights. All week here on ESPN, we are in honor of Veterans Day, reminding you that you can support our troops, our wounded warriors and their families. Donate $10 by texting USO to 27722 or go to www.uso.org. Sports Center tomorrow with Hannah Storm. Josh Elliott will be live from Germany as well as we continue our Veterans Day themed programming. A technical foul as we were away was called on Rashard Lewis. Bob Delaney, the official, explaining to Lewis the new crack down on guys who act up and are demonstrative. So the T is added, and it's a 1-point game.
And they also increased the fines to 2,000 for every technical, up to 5.
Yeah.
Then once you get over 5, it's 3,000. Then up to 10 or more, 4,000. So it becomes extremely expensive.
Well, with that league pass, you watch all the games as many nights as you can when you're home. Do you notice the guys are reacting and adjusting to the rule
Well,
change?
they're trying to. But, you know, when you get fouled, Mike, I don't care what type of game it is, you are going to express yourself. And especially if you get fouled and there's a no call, all right, then things happen. You get belted by an errant elbow.
Sure.
Now, this is what we liked about Rashard Lewis. We told you that he can post up, especially on this side of the floor. He can post, he can catch, turn and face, take you off the dribble, and then the three-point shot.
Vince Carter liked it because he's coming in the game. Andre Kirilenko's coming in as well. You know, Hubie, we were showing Bob Delaney there. I mentioned all the USO stuff around Veterans Day. Just want to point out to everybody, Bob, you know, he was a state cop in Jersey. You've heard the story very often, his undercover work. Bob has been phenomenal about adopting as a cause wounded warriors. And he introduced you guys, you, Mike Breen, and Jeff Van Gundy in Tampa. That game that was delayed. And both of us tonight to a wounded warrior here in the Central Florida area who Bob has befriended. He's Bob's guest here at the game tonight along with his family. You may see these officials. Bob Delaney is doing so much to help the wounded warriors, as many people are, but we just want to tip our cap to Bob and thank him for what he's doing away from the basketball floor in that regard. Lewis all the way. Rebound by Millsap.
I like Rashard Lewis, though. He's extremely active tonight. He's attacking the rim.
Williams has it swatted away by Dwight Howard.
Now, Dwight Howard was to the left of the lane, and he left his man in that situation. Darren Williams thought he was home free because he was going up over the top. Now, look, watch this now. You see where he came from. He came from outside the lane, timed that perfectly.
17 to shoot. Kirilenko, Millsap, Jefferson. With Williams and Bell, the starting 5 back in the offense. Wow, looks a heck of a lot better.
I know. While he was out, they scored 2 field goals. But how about that? You blocked my shot. I'm going right back into you, right in front of your face again.
Brandon Bass missed the quick shot, and Utah can come back with a chance to take the lead in this very low-scoring game. And turnover plagued as well. Utah scored 72 in the second half last night. That was pre-overtime in the victory, 116-114 at Miami. Bass hits the jumper.
Yeah, Bass has a lot of good qualities. He's an excellent rebounder. He's a terrific defender and can muscle up with guys of size and strength. And then he can score with his back to the basket plus spacing.
Couple of years New Orleans, couple of years Dallas. Now his second year here. Vince Carter called for the foul as he was holding Raja Bell, and we get to the timeout. One of the many pieces that Stan Van Gundy can go to, Brandon Bass. The Orlando bench outscoring the Utah bench 14-5. Bass helping that count.
Stuart Scott in the studio with the SportsCenter in-game. Houston Rockets fans are holding their collective breath. Rockets Wizards, JaVale McGee right into Yao Ming. Yao, the 7'6" all-star from China, left the game, left foot tender sprain. Remember, he did not play all last year with that injury. Is not expected to return. Also, check us out at halftime. Ridiculous John Wall highlights, guys.
All right, Stuart, we'll check on the number 1 overall pick of this year's draft and the number 1 overall of the past draft, Yao Ming. Struggling there. Remember, he hurt that foot back in the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers, Game 3, a couple of years ago. So Stewart and the guys will have that. Jalen Rose with Stewart as well. And David Lee back at MSG as the now Golden State Warrior returns to New York. Boy, Hubie, you just think about Yao Ming. And when we heard last year during the season that may be a career-threatening injury for Yao, foul on Jameer Nelson holding Darren Williams inside. That had you scared. And you see this just, what, 7 games into the season. You just wonder if this is going to be something he cannot recover from.
Yeah, and it's so sad because he's such a great professional. He's terrifically talented. They just thought that they would start playing him back-to-back games, increased the minutes over 24 that he was playing. On opening night against the Lakers, I thought when he was on the floor for the 24 minutes, they were better than the Lakers at Lakerland. It was a great game. And you just feel for the young man plus the team.
Millsap knocks down the hoop. It is 34-33. Orlando leading here by 1 in what has been a turnover-filled 20 turnovers in all first half. Brandon Bass from the top knocks it down. So they went to Bass right away, Hubie. The starter was Ryan Anderson. Bass came in a minute and a half into the game, and he's had a good first half.
Mike, I like that. They got the switch. They posted up. They went in. Bass's man had a double team. The ball went right back out. Excellent ball movement.
Away from the ball, moving screen will be called. The illegal screen on Utah. And it'll be Darren Williams getting called here.
Mike, every time you and I do a game, we always say something about the referees, and that is you must adjust. The first 5 minutes of each half, they're going to call something. You have got to adjust your game. They're not going to adjust. They're calling it tight tonight. Please adjust to the way the game is being called.
First foul is what Bob Delaney says. He had Raja Bell before Rashard Lewis lowered his shoulder into him. And Bell's called for his second. And Rashard will come to the line.
Well, Raja Bell steps back from Noah. Anytime that he is involved, he is not going to give you a leeway. Right there, you can see that's a flop. We know that. And Delaney is not going to be showing up in that type of a situation. He's going to make the call, the proper call.
Lewis, who rarely gets to the line with his perimeter-based game, was just 5 of 5 at the line coming into tonight. And he's missed both of his free throw attempts so far. 37-33.
Now, if you're looking out there and you're saying, hey, the Jazz aren't scoring any points, just remember, last night they only had 32 at halftime in Miami.
And dropped a little 72 in that second half, and then the overtime. Kirilenko from the outside. Caddy gave him the wrong club.
I want to see Utah get back to that energy that they started this game with, where they had the passing, making the extra pass, getting movement on both sides of the lane.
Kirilenko was acting like he had his foot stepped on or came down awkwardly after he released the shot. Usually something's wrong when you miss that badly. Bell comes to double. Nelson breaks free. Gets 3.
The rotation has been great. Anytime that you double team Howard on that left box, they send the guy and then they rotate to the open space. Beautiful basketball.
And 3 assists for Dwight Howard, who comes away with the turnover. And Orlando a chance to get a little margin here as we head to halftime. Vince Carter on the runner.
They've got to be careful here right now. Main thing is get into the set. Let's have some movement. Force them to play both sides of the lane.
Jazz had a 26-25 lead with 8.5 left in this first half. On the inside, Millsap able to convert.
That was a great pass by Darren Williams. He takes the double team, finds the big man moving.
Pace is picked up, thankfully, here in the last few minutes. Carter, 3. Chased it down, though.
Yeah, Bell just made a mistake. Instead of blocking out his man and going for the rebound, he started to leak out, like we say.
Shot clock off, and the fans add to the noise here in the Amway Center. Nelson used the Howard screen. Lewis, a 3.
Now that was beautiful. They get the trap on the dribbler, and then they go for the roll, man. That opens up the guy rotating. That is the 4th jumper that they've made out of a double team in the post or a double team on a high pick and roll.
Darren Williams. Great close to the second quarter for Orlando. 11 to the run as they go from down 1 to up 10 here at the break. 8 points, best we can do for anyone. Jefferson and Millsap for Utah. Howard and Lewis for Orlando. Good job by Brandon Bass off the bench with 7. So off the career high night, Millsap and the Jazz left to do their work in the second half. During the Toyota halftime show, they'll get their act together. Stuart Scott and Jalen Rose standing by in our studios, the world headquarters in Connecticut. Check out David Lee's return to Madison Square Garden and the latest on Yao Ming's injury tonight for Houston. At the break, Orlando leading Utah 45-35 on the front end of NBA Wednesday on ESPN. The 5-1 Orlando Magic have not lost in their new beautiful arena, the Amway Center. It's the baseline bar that takes up the whole area to our left. Fans, wherever their tickets are, come hang out there. It's one of the neat parts of this building. Wherever you are, there's a bunch of great amenities, and a lot of the folks enjoying those here at the half. We start the second half. Mike Tirico, Hall of Famer Hubie Brown with you here. So, Hubie, it was kind of a fits and starts half. Hard to get settled in, but we did see Dwight Howard lead the charge of some improved offense for Orlando that's built this 10-point lead.
Yeah, I like the fact, Mike, that he's getting the catches. And when he's getting the catches, he's reading the defense. You play him loose, he goes for the shot. You double team him, he makes the pass.
And he's the subject of our Skechers shape-ups taking shape here tonight.
Now keep an eye on him right now. He catches on, see, hesitation, jump stop, strong jump hook. Now, watch what happens when he gets double teamed. See the double team? Kick it out, open up Jameer Nelson for a three. Now, once again, take the double team, make the diagonal, you get another three from Jameer Nelson. So it's just good basketball, taking your time, and I like the fact that they're going to him strong.
Here you see the numbers for Howard, Carter, and Lewis, the three highest paid players on this team. 23 points. Utah didn't give us much there. And when Darren Williams was out, we saw their offense really struggling.
Well, Mike, they were playing extremely well. Excellent movement. Good down inside power playing. Nice passing. Unfortunately for them, Williams goes out of the game. They only get 2 field goals. So that has to improve in the second half.
An entirely different team as Utah playing on the back end of a back-to-back, the first game in Miami. You see that the great game from Paul Millsap, 46 points, just 8 to this point. Al Jefferson with 8. Darren Williams, 2 of 8 from the field here.
Yeah, see, I right now you have to worry because Kurylenko and Darren Williams are 2 for 12. They are 2 of your top 4 scorers, so they've got to get off the schneid and get going here.
Howard comes across the lane to start this third quarter. No good. Rebound inside. Brandon Bass, the only non-game starter, starting the second half. And he is fouled. It was a move by Stan Van Gundy early on to get Ryan Anderson out and Brandon Bass in. And there's a lot of flexibility on this team, especially at that 4 position. And it may be a better night for Bass because of the matchup with Millsap.
Well, I like the fact that Orlando is winning the points on second shots, 16-6. Now, that's a big 10-point difference, Mike. Also, bench play. Bench play by Bass in the first half and Gortat. Or Bass, not only the 7 points and the 3 boards, but Gortat, how about the 4.8 rebounds coming in? Did a terrific job.
1 for 2 for Bass. It's a great problem that many coaches would like to have, but it doesn't mean it's an easy one to solve, the one Stan Van Gundy has. He's got too many good players, and you do have to find a way to make it all work. Darren Williams misses the 3 to start this third quarter for Utah, and back comes Nelson. Quick step by Nelson, set up Howard down the lane, and a chance for a 3-point play.
Now that's Jameer Nelson at his best. You allow him to drive hard to his right hand. When you force that double team on the baseline, he'll give the ball up and make the perfect play. Just watch right here. See, you're going to leave to try to trap. I'm going right to the big guy. But the big guy must be moving, and tonight he's moving.
Now 2 of 5 at the line, but Rashard Lewis did a nice job to keep this trip alive.
We've only played a minute here in the second half, and Utah's got to really check. They've got to check their energy level, Mike.
Howard strong at Jefferson through Williams. Missed it. Raja Bell able to keep it alive. Yeah, because it's one thing to talk about conditioning, Hubie. It may be, oh, Howard. Got Williams in the face, too, as he went up for that block shot, and Darren is shaken up.
Now, Howard timed that all the way down. Keep an eye to the left of the screen. There it is right there. He left his man. Now, just keep an eye right. Look at Howard hustling back now defensively. He points out, hey, I'm going for the block. That's the second time that he's done that in this game.
I think Utah thought they were going to have to take a 20-second timeout. Jerry Sloan's just looking at Williams. And he will stay in and not need that timeout.
Well, they need Williams to get going. When any time that you have your second leading scorer averaging 20 points a game, he's got to come in big on the road.
Rashad Bell. Millsap gave it to Williams off the curl. And Jefferson. It's going to be a foul on the Orlando Magic. You know, Hubie, I watch Al Jefferson, and a lot of people said it's one of the bigger additions in this NBA offseason. Hey, they had to do something when they lost Carlos Boozer, Kyle Korver. You get Jefferson, whose stats looked really good, but again, they were not stats on a winning team, and sometimes that's hard to translate to a 50-win team the way the Jazz can be.
Well, one of the toughest teams to get traded to is the Utah Jazz because of how they execute their offense. There are so many variables to it, Mike, once the play and the set is called. So it's difficult for a young guy to pick all of this up quickly. Just let's give him until January 1, second half of the season, last 4 months. I think you'll see him reacting quicker.
Millsap knocks down the outside shot. They tell us with Hubie, that shot from Millsap, when we talked about, he only hit 2 of 23s in his first 4+ years in the league. Deep catch, Howard. Contact with Jefferson. The foul's called. They said Millsap hits him like nobody's business at practice, so it was not a surprise to them last night. You know, we see Jefferson there called for the foul. Let's think about this. 3 years right out of high school in Boston. 3 years with Minnesota. There's Millsap shooting from the outside.
And he's knocking them down here. And it's an effortless shot. He has a beautiful release. He's a very strong young man. But like he said today, talking to you and I, that he goes out and he works after practice and he shoots against the guards. Now that's good practice for him, and you know that they're just not shooting for sodas. You know? So consequently, you have to pay attention when you're in these shooting games. Okay?
So if you're going to ask in, you better have the stuff in your pocket to play.
That's exactly right.
They asked Lee Trevino, the great Hall of Fame golfer, once if he felt a lot of pressure having to make a putt for, you know, 20,000, 50, who knows what it was at that point. And he said, no, you want to know what pressure is? Pressure is when you've got a putt and the bet's $100, but you only have 50 in your pocket. So you better make it, otherwise you'll be singing for your supper. One of my favorite golf jokes. There's Jefferson. That's a shot he's used a lot. That little shovel shot.
And that's nice because it's close to the basket, Mike, and it's an easy shot for him. You can see he doesn't hesitate. As soon as the catch comes, the shot is up.
Good shoulder fake by Bass from the top. And Jefferson gets the rebound. Right at the halftime margin, 10. You see some of the speed of Williams finding Bell.
Nice. Good choice, good selection, also to get Bell going. Remember, when you put Okoro at 7 feet into this lineup, you get a rebounder, you get a shot blocker, and you get a great three-point shooter.
Howard inside, able to clean up the garbage and get the 2.
Well, see, they're really small up front. When you say Millsap and Jefferson, they're only 6'9". The same thing with Karolinko.
See Williams forcing the issue almost since Howard blocked his shot down at the other end. He's been much more aggressive with pace on this offense.
Yeah, I like that. You like the movement. And right now, Williams knows that they cannot get down by a large number here at the end of the third quarter. So he's trying to get everything below the foul line, create the double team on him so he can open guys up for easy shots.
Spent 3 years in college at Illinois with a great 37-2 team that lost the national championship game to North Carolina. Utah took him with the 3rd overall pick of that draft, and he's really blossomed, made the All-Star team for the first time. And last year was his 2nd time being 2nd team All-NBA.
And that's big because that's the top 15 players, and he deserves it.
Utah's made all the free ones to keep it within 8. Orlando run at the end of the first half, really the difference in this game right now. Bass draws a crowd. Gets it back on a beautiful pass from Vince Carter.
Boy, that was beautiful to watch because the clock was down. You had to get 2 good passes, Jameer to Carter, and then a great finish by Bass.
Jefferson with a nice find of Rashad Bell. Shot won't go down. Nelson to Bass on the move. Carter. Utah may have to stop it here.
Well, when you look at this team that's out there for Orlando, you have 5 guys right now who can change ends quickly. And then also Bass with the explosion at the end. So you got Howard and Bass to finish in the paint in traffic.
Millsap finds Kirilenko in the corner. And a great start to this game, Andrei Kirilenko. And knocks down a 3 to make it a 9-point game.
Yeah, they have to get him going. We said coming in, he was 7 for 11 in threes. All right, that's what you want to see. Just hit a couple of threes and then get your game together.
First 3 knocked down for the Jazz. And on the other end, Vince Carter responds with the 3. It's a much better flow on the offensive end for Orlando the last end of the first start.
Orlando's one of the best teams in the league in spacing. They wear you out from the right corner and the left corner after they go on a pick and roll or even off the dribble.
Gibson facing. Jerry Sloan yelling at his team to move. And the indecision there forces the turnover. And here's Nelson. Lob for Bass. And now they'll pull the plug.
Now they're coming together here right now. Excellent ball movement. A lot of movement without the ball. So what's happening? Easy plays. Now keep an eye right now on this last play. You're going to see the excellent ball movement coming up on the right side. Look to the top of your screen. Nice movement away. That's where they hurt you. They hurt you away from the ball.
Back at the Amway Center in Orlando, our aerial coverage on this NBA Wednesday brought to you by DirecTV. For the most sports period, call 1-800-DirecTV. Nice surge by Stan Van Gundy's team up 14, responding from their early slumber tonight.
In the last minute there, our energy picked up. We're defending and the first 2 minutes, we looked like we were the team who played last night.
Well, he's definitely right on it, no doubt about it. Now remember, in the first quarter and a half, they had 11 turnovers. But now everything is crisp. 15 and a half minutes without a turnover. You see they have their transition game going.
By record, by talent, by performance the last couple of seasons, Orlando is right there, although not garnering the headlines of Miami and Boston even in this offseason, as Williams misses the 3 out of the timeout and Howard gets the rebound. This is right there, right with the big 3 here in the East. An opportunity to get to the NBA Finals out of this conference. And just your read, Hubie, on what the issues are for Orlando to maximize their performance as the season goes on.
Well, first of all, they're 34-7 last year at home, and they'll have a great record like that again. They are one of the top 3 teams on the road that we have. That's coach preparation and players playing to their maximum. They know that they can get it done, but the key thing is everybody has to be healthy, and then the foul shooting with Carter and Howard in the last 6 minutes of playoff games is going to be magnified. And that's going to be big. Under the microscope, everyone's second guessing.
All 4 turnovers for Howard have been travels, 3 in the first half, and that one there. It will be up to those guys because, candidly, in the series with Boston, they were down 3-0, won games 4 and 5, but were eliminated in the Eastern Finals in 6 last year. It was those guys not performing.
That's right.
The way we saw them all the regular season. Jefferson with a little shovel shot for 2 more. You coached a ton of back-to-backs. Do you see how an early part of a second half goes as you try to gauge what your team needs?
Yeah, but your demands on your team, depending upon what the age is here and et cetera and so forth. We have 2 teams here right now who want to win. Orlando wants to win 60. Once again, right here, the Utah Jazz, the last 3 out of 4 years have won over 50. They're trying to get 55 to 58 in the West, which is extremely difficult to do. So you're not questioning what you want, your guys, is the execution. Respond to the defense.
Millsap missed it. It was out of bounds off his shot, and Orlando ball. It's been 4 of the last 6 threes that have gone down for an Orlando team that has struggled with the long shot early in this season, and that is their bread and butter, because how they're constructed, they've got the great guy in the middle in Howard, who's developing. You mentioned the questions. Can you make the free throws in the last 6? But they spread him with the perimeter guys, and this guy who seems to know when to shoot and when to penetrate and dish. I enjoy watching Nelson's game.
Right now, Utah needs a little execution, a couple of field goals, unfortunately, a quick turnover.
Numbers here. Nelson on the push. Lewis at the line. That's 2. It's all on the tape. Shot off the rim. Kirilenko the save. Transition. They match up.
Nice.
Jefferson had pass, went inside, was too quick with it. Lewis saved it to Carter. Brandon Bass comes to set the screen. Nelson splits it at the top, then turned it over. Boy, Raja Bell is such a good test.
Well, Roger, we know that he's known for his defense, but he's also an excellent, three-point shooter and a tough guy. That's why he's just got to get him into some kind of a flow here. He's back. We know that he started his career. He played 3 years in Utah. Well, then we know that, come on, you got to get back into the system and find your spots. That's the old key with this offense. You got to find your spots where you get high percentage shots.
Carter comes to the left. Bass cracks the glass. Magic wanted the foul. And Darren Williams having a very tough offensive night. 2 of 11 from the field. Will roll by Millsap. Bass was in the way, and a chance at the three-point play.
Well, that was a nice save. That was a nice catch, one-handed, and then being able to catch and and complete the play. Big thing right now for Utah. We know that they got to get Kirilenko and Williams going. At the other end, tighten up the defense here a little bit. Main thing right now, that was a beautiful catch. You could see the catch, and the fact that he was able to bring it back to his shooting hand and finish is a tribute to the young man. Beautiful move.
Asked him about getting back to his locker after the career-high 46, obliterating his former career high of 32. I said, what was your phone like? And he said 50 messages. He said relatives who I forgot that I had, all checking in via text or voicemail to congratulate him on that effort. Carter, the 3 is good. So the 5 of the last 7 now on threes for Orlando, leading by 15.
Picking up those extra points. Remember, like we told you last year, they made 10 out of 27. This year, 8 out of 26. At halftime, they took 13. That was halfway home. They're going to continue to shoot the 3.
Nice find. Williams' 9th assist of the night. Right back to Millsap, who, like the great Karl Malone out of Louisiana Tech. Karl was class of 85. Millsap 2 decades later. We're talking about a guy in Millsap who's the 47th pick of that draft in 06. Middle of the 2nd round. Nelson. Well, the Orlando Magic missing three-point touch has been found here tonight.
Well, tonight they're really in a beautiful mood right now, and a nice swing. When you just talk about second-round draft choices, Mike, Utah has 6 guys on their team on the 2nd round and 2 guys who are not even drafted.
Millsap, one of those second-rounders, going to come to the line on the other side of this timeout. We continue to show you around the Amway Center, and gentlemen, Jack Terrace, a little of the outside incorporated there on the inside. Stuart Scott, this new Orlando arena looks as good as the team right now.
And both of them look pretty good, Mike. Stuart's got in the studio, Taco Bell studio update. The Atlanta Hawks started the season 6-0. They're about to lose their 3rd straight. Brandon Jennings, my commercial buddy, he helped me not hit bango in those NBA commercial spots. Banging the 3 plus 1, the 4-point play. Milwaukee's all over Atlanta. Elsewhere, Wizards are up 1 on the Rockets. Yao Ming injured in that game, injured that foot, will not return. And David Lee, 14 points in the first half in his return to Madison Square Garden. His Warriors leading the Knicks. We'll be back after the break.
Playing in the NBA has allowed us to help people all over the world. That's why we play basketball, is to bring joy to people's lives. And we also need to do that off the court. Just to see the impact that we as NBA players have is bigger than basketball. Having the ability to touch people's lives, wherever it may be, that's why I smile so much.
Well,
Dwight Howard's always smiling and always offering to help. Spent some time in Haiti during this offseason. Dwight Howard in the NBA Orlando Magic, very active in this community. Dwight having a good night. He and Marcin Gortat play together again, as they did in the first half. As Millsap knocks down the first of two. Paul Millsap, who's joined only by Pau Gasol in the top 10 in both rebounding and points. I know it's very early in the season, Hubie. It's a big increase in his numbers because his minutes increase, but sometimes guys play more minutes and we don't see the jump in their numbers. We're seeing a very significant jump from Millsap in the first sample of 7 games.
I think what you're an outsider and you're watching here, what he has now is a total game. He has a game that can go out to the three-point line. He has the mid-range game, and he can play with his back to the basket.
Now Lewis going back down there on that box, and I know every time we do an Orlando game, you love it when you see that. That seems to get him in a flow offensively.
Yeah, and it gets him easier shot attempts, you know, and they always play behind him. The double team is late, so he gets an opportunity to work and get high percentage shots.
Millsap getting busy here in this third quarter. Couldn't convert that one. It's out last. Rodney Mott needed some help from Scott Wall. It's last touch by the Magic.
Big difference in this game, Mike. Utah in three-point attempts, 1 for 9. Now, Orlando, 9 for 19 already, and we still have 14 minutes to go in this game. Now, Carter and Jameer Nelson are 7 for 12 and 3. That's a great number.
Kirill Fasinko checks back in for the Jazz. C.J. Miles, Millsap, Raja Bell, and Darren Williams with the ball. Watched by Chris Duhon. Saw the doubles, found Millsap, got bumped, and he's going to get 2 free throws out of it.
But I like the rotation by Orlando. Orlando is always going to be in the top 5 defensive teams. Low field goal percentage against, low three-point shooting, and then also they are the #1 defensive rebounding team in the league. They're so well coached, and their game preparation is excellent because it always starts with them at the defensive end. They do a terrific job.
Speaking of 2 terrific defensive teams, Boston and Miami, that's the TNT doubleheader starter tomorrow night, followed by the Lakers in Denver to take on the Nuggets. Here on ESPN, we'll follow the Jazz to Atlanta to take on the Hawks in Portland, Oklahoma City. And NBA TV Sunday night will have the Rockets in New York to take on the Knicks. Both of those teams in action tonight, and Stuart told you at halftime the big overriding story thus far this NBA night, the left foot injury to Yao Ming. We don't know how serious, how long it'll impact him, but that's the leg he's coming back from, missing all of last year. Over a little zone, Lewis gets a friendly roll for 3.
They've already have 10 makes, Mike. 10 makes already.
Team that lives by the 3, but was only shooting it at 32% coming in. Slapped out of bounds by Duhon.
As soon as they came down the floor, Darren Williams took Duhon right into the post. They're trying to get him going because between Kirilenko and Darren Williams, they are 3 for 16.
Will Fasinko has a block by Gortat, but he was fouled first.
Mike, Gortat has really been active here tonight. On the boards, defensively, shot blocking, rotating on the baseline, helping out in the half-court defense.
10 players have played for Orlando, Hubie. The 2 who haven't, Jason Williams, now in his 12th year out of Florida, but he played a bunch of minutes when Nelson missed the game 2 nights ago. And Mikael Pietrus, and we spoke in the first half our admiration for his overall game. The guy who played significant minutes in the conference finals and the finals. How does Stan Van Gundy handle having 12 guys worthy of playing? You always played 10 guys. You always played in a second unit, kept guys ready. How do you handle that great problem of I've got too much?
Well, it's difficult because you know players 11 and 12 are not going to be happy. But what you try to do is incorporate them as much as you can at practice sessions to keep their game sharp, because as soon as you get an injury like they did to Jameer Nelson with the ankle, Jason Williams stepped right in and never missed a beat. Now the same thing will happen at that forward position, the small forward, and then Pietrus will step in because they're 2 proven guys who have played in plenty playoff games.
Bass got too cute there, forced the turnover. On the push, Millsap. You can see the confidence in his game. Count it with a foul on Carter. And in this quarter, you're seeing a little bit of what you saw last night in Miami. and overall this year from Millsap.
Well, I like the energy. Keep an eye on the move here. Watch how he evades the player trying to take the defensive charge. I like the little dipsy-do with the hip move as he fades to the left to get that shot off. This guy's a hard-working guy. The old story, hey, he brings his lunch pail. Yeah, this guy does. you never, ever would say that this guy is not a hard worker. That's the first thing. Everyone on their coaching staff, you say, Millsap, hard worker.
Well, maybe that's what inspired him to get in the air a little bit. Dr. J is in the house. NBA champion, Hall of Famer, 4-time MVP, former executive with the Magic. Julius Erving lives down here in the house tonight. Quick turnover. Chance for the Jazz to get back in it as Williams goes all the way. That's a 12-point game.
Now, that's the first time we have seen the 2-3 zone. They get the turnover, and that was excellent. Just buy some time here now. Hopefully you can get them to miss and get down and get another quick score. There it is. There's another
Rodney Mott, but stays in bounds, and he's part of the action. The shot clock is off. It's an 8-0 run for Utah to end this third quarter, and they can get it to 10 or 9 after 3. Darren Williams used the Fasenko screen, hits the 3. 11 in a row to end the quarter for the Jazz, unless the Magic can do something here. Duhan will try. And Hubie, what a comeback. 11-0 to end the quarter, getting Utah right back in it.
Now, Darren Williams steps up big here. The 2-3 zone causes 2 quick turnovers. Now, just watch here. The 3 takes as easy. Now, we know one of the better point guard three-point shooters in the league.
Let me start with the good, Stan. Great three-point shooting tonight has gotten you in the game and with the big lead there in the third quarter.
Yeah, but then we just turned the ball over 3 straight possessions and put ourselves in trouble.
And for the fourth quarter, what are the important parts, including Millsap got going there?
Take care of the ball and quit letting him slip on the pick and rolls.
Thanks.
All right.
Stan Van Gundy frustrated with the 11-0 run at the end of the quarter. And we've seen this trend from Utah the last 2 games, Hubie. They rallied from down 18 in the second quarter against the Clips Saturday to win in double overtime. And then the victory last night, down 22 in the second and 19 at the half to Miami.
Well, it all comes down to the coaching staff, accountability. They're going to stay on top of you, force you to really knock them out. But one thing about their teams, think about it, in all of the 23 years that Jerry Sloan has been there, just think about it, only 1 year were they not 500 or better. That is an incredible stat when you say 23 years.
3-second violation called. They're on the Jazz to start the quarter, so Orlando a chance to get back in it here in the first 20 seconds of the third. Duhan and Quentin Richardson the guards. Brandon Bass takes the elbow jumper and missed. Gortat couldn't tip it back in. Here comes Darren Williams with Raja Bell. The hot guy, Millsap, Miles, and Fasenko. And Bell with the layup. 13-0 run. And Utah's down 74-67.
Well, he said Williams had to get it going, and he definitely has. He's doing a terrific job, and he's finding people on the break. Beautiful backdoor move that time by Bell.
Foul there inside as Gortat was trying to catch. Just a brief second here. You know who's sitting back home laughing right now? Doris Burke, Lisa Salters, Heather Cox. Because they usually have the pleasure of interviewing Stan after a quarter where they've given up 11 points in a row. You know, I mean, if you're going to give me no sideline reporter and make me do the interviews, give me George Karl and Doc Rivers. You know, give me a Denver-Boston game. Not Jerry Sloan and Stan. Carter the 3. Gortat, great play to get the tip back in.
Gortat, that's what we told you. Now, that's his 9th rebound, his 4th offensive. Now, in the second chance points, a +12 for Orlando in this game.
Off the curl, Williams. Nice find of Fasenko. Throws it down.
I thought he was going to be late on that because he should have been closer to the basket. A beautiful look. Here, once again, they're back into the zone.
Carter dribbling around it and through it. Usually not the way to beat it. Stays down here.
The big thing what you're trying to do is get the ball into the painted area some way. Now look down here. Watch to the left of your screen. That's just a beautiful move to Fasenko. He should have been stepping up because his man, Gortat, left him to go to double team Williams. Remember what we always say, when the guy leaves you, it's your job to create the passing lane.
Vince Carter out, J.J. Redick in, and a technical foul called on Stan Van Gundy. He was looking over to Bob Delaney for a call the last time on that Carter drive he didn't get. On the rotation of officials, Rodney Mott was on that sideline. Stan wore him out enough. He said, that's it. T.
Well, he's trying to get a point across. He'll take the technical because he just wants to stop the action also. But what he's doing, he's talking from his heart. Because right now he's so disappointed in his team on this run. And then this guy right now on the foul line has been absolutely excellent in the last 3 to 5 minutes.
11 assists, 14 points for Darren Williams. Millsap out to get a breather. Kirilenko checks in. And that's what I love about Stan Van Gundy. We're kind of joking around a little bit. What I love about him is the emotion and the passion and the caring for every possession, every trip. I mean, this team's going to win 50-something games. We're the first week in November. It doesn't matter. It's like it's May or April. He sets the tone all year.
You're right, but Mike, you got to show us some kind of a zone attack.
Yes, Duhan short. Got the rebound, though. Good work inside by Duhan. Gortat needed back out of bounds. Couldn't catch it.
Now, I like what Jerry has done. He's changed the tempo of this game. He's also hiding some of his poor defensive guys, but they're better offensive players. Tempo has changed. Just think of the turnovers here. Now, that's 4 turnovers against this 2-3 zone.
And helps you on a back-to-back as well. Kirilenko to D. Will.
Oh, beautiful.
To Fasenko inside. Kirill Fasenko, born on Christmas Eve 23 years ago. Giving Utah some good minutes here. And a timeout taken by Stan Van Gundy in the Magic.
How about the bounce pass on the double team from Williams? Just a great read. Watch the post up. Here comes the double. Find the free man. Now just finish, big fella. Just finish.
Stuart Scott in the studio with the SportsCenter in-game extra. John Wall maybe making some history. Rockets, Wizards. Wall banging the 3. 18 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds, 1 rebound away from he would be the 3rd guy ever with the triple-double.
Utah has come back in this game with a great run here. 16-2 has been their run to get back in it. Doing it in about 3.5 minutes. And Hubie Brown, it has been the zone on the defensive end that has allowed Jerry Sloan's team to grind back into this one.
And they're doing a terrific job in their transition, Mike. Once they get them to miss or turn it over, they're coming down. Good ball movement. Also, Darren Williams down inside the painted area, making great decisions.
J.J. Redick, Jameer Nelson worked the backcourt. Quentin Richardson, Rashard Lewis, Dwight Howard trying to find answers against the zone. The ball movement was good. The 3 was not by Nelson. This could be a loose ball foul on Fasenko, who is very frustrated. He couldn't get free of the grasp of Howard, and that's his 3rd.
Mike, they did an excellent defensive job by covering from the left side to the right corner. And then when the ball was rotated back, Kirilenko did get to the shooter and put the pressure. But everyone's got a rebound when you play zone, not just the front court people.
Certainly this team that has the guys who can break a zone with outside shots. Richardson a 3. Howard discarded Fasenko. The Utah bench wanted a foul. Didn't get one. Orlando plus 11 in the rebounding column.
As long as we keep you out on the perimeter and you keep shooting and missing long, then you're in business. See, that's what you don't want to have happen. When you play against the zone, Mike, you're trying to get the ball into the painted area, whether it goes by pass or whether it goes off the dribble or what. But the big thing is if you continue to stay perimeter, you got to shoot a high percentage. You're going to allow Utah to stay around. By that time, throwing the ball in, breaking the zone down, and forcing man-to-man coverage, this guy can turn this game around in Orlando's favor quickly in the last 9 minutes.
Now 3 of 8 at the line. Howard many have talked about his work with Hakeem Olajuwon in the offseason. He also said he spent some time with an NBA player, a current player who he will not name because that player didn't want him to name him. And he said the one thing, the constant he heard from the current player and the Hall of Famer Olajuwon was confidence. Offensive confidence. You have to have it. This is the place where he has to get it. All that work he did with jump shooting, late game free throws. 3 of 9 here on the game. And it remains a 4-point Magic lead.
Mike, that's why we say we can talk about all of this other stuff here in the 82 games. We know they're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be one of the top 4 teams in the East, no doubt about it. But once they start marching to the second and third round, you've got to be able to make the foul shots in the last 6 minutes.
Nice call here by Rodney Mott. Jameer Nelson tried to steal one there, but it was clearly off of him as he was battling Darren Williams. 8 to shoot for Utah. Williams, a quick 3. And the Jazz within 1. This very reminiscent of last night down in Miami.
Did I say he and Kirilenko were 3 for 16?
At one point, yes.
I think someone glued the 2 of them in there because he's playing great right now.
Fans getting anxious here with 8.5 to go.
See, they're matching up perfectly out of this 2-3. There's another turnover.
Stepped on the sideline, and it will be a Utah chance to take the lead.
Now, on that out-of-bounds play where Williams gets his 3, watch what happens as he steps back. Tarasenko and also Kirilenko. Beautiful double screen. Great camera work. Terrific.
Williams goes baseline, sees Howard, who blocks the shot. 2 of the best in the league there, head-to-head. In transition, Richardson. Redick, 3. Whistle beforehand. And we have a foul inside on Dwight Howard.
Oh, that's his 5th. Now give Howard a lot of credit because he was playing with 4 as he gets his shot clock. As soon as he saw Williams beat his man, he came right across for that block.
And then the bumping with Tarasenko right after that, the foul was called. So it's 5 on Dwight, who will be coming out here as Marcin Gortat jigs in. He didn't know that he was being subbed for there.
Well, that's a situation. Stan's not going to leave.
Going to get a T. Got a T.
Yeah.
He's talking to Scott Wall there on the way over, and Scott Wall gave him a little bit of rope, but nowhere near out of line with what the officials are supposed to do. That's the 3rd technical on the Magic here tonight.
Well, unfortunately, we have no idea what he said.
Right.
Okay, so consequently, you got to go with the referee in that situation. He's going to call the technical.
But you know what, Hubie? He was lingering down here, and he was taking his sweet time getting off the floor, as Williams missed what would have been the tying tee. So even for that, no matter what he said, he was kind of lingering over here. This is the back end of this.
Very good. Very good. That's why you always tell people, change tempo of the game if things aren't going right, or you're trying to hide some guys who are good offensive players but are weak defensively, even at this level. And you're seeing it right now. You've got great athleticism. They're matching up perfectly, and now they're starting to rally at this end.
Yes! Banks in a 3 to give the Jazz a lead. Good night.
That's his 2nd one tonight, but remember we told you he came in here 7 for 11.
What a comeback for the Jazz. They trailed by 18. Last night they trailed by 22. Redick missed the 3. This is much earlier than their comeback in Miami. C.J. Miles, not another one. Richardson the rebound. Taken away by Kirilenko.
That was just good play by Raja Bell. Raja Bell got that deflection. Kirilenko makes the catch and scores.
This is a 24-2 run by the Jazz to erase the 18-point deficit.
Yeah, but they're doing a good job out on these perimeter guys, Mike. They're not giving them a good look out on the perimeter.
Nelson hits the runner to finally stop the bleeding for the Magic.
You've got to get the ball, Mike, either off the dribble or a pass with movement in the paint. That's how you break the zone down and force it to play you man-to-man.
Williams, floater. Gortat, good presence quickly on the defensive end.
He'll go all the way.
Nelson, Raja Bell ties him up, and he'll get free throws out of it.
Now, one thing about Jameer can sense a high percentage move. And as soon as he came down there, he saw Raja Bell. He had a bad angle defensively. Jameer was taken out right to the rim.
We talk about back-to-backs all the time. Remember, a lot of minutes these guys played last night. Raja Bell comes out. Millsap comes back in. He got Millsap some good time on the bench there.
Jerry right now is looking at Raja Bell and Williams and Miles doing a terrific job covering the areas of the zone against the passing.
Okay.
So what he's trying to do is give Raja a break here right now before he brings him back in.
Because you'll have the TV timeout, official timeout coming up under 6 minutes here. So you'll get a little bit of an extra window coming up. Just the small things on a back-to-back that a coach can do to get a break for his guys.
Absolutely. And one thing about that coaching staff over there, they never give up. No. And then the players, it gets ingrained. People forget they have a key 6 new players on this team this year, the Utah Jazz.
All square at 80. Kirilenko off the curl, takes it. Rebound Nelson. Bass and Gortat running with him. Howard on the bench with 5 fouls. Carter deflected by Kirilenko. Good quick hands. He started the game with quick hands and making an impact on possessions.
He got, when he went 0 for 4, Mike, he kind of lost a little bit of that quickness. But right now, since they've made this run, everyone is in tune here.
Halfway through this final quarter. Lewis, 3. Way off.
Look at this.
Shot clock did not reset. Nelson knows it. Try to squeeze through the double. And the foul is called as we get to a timeout.
Give Jameer Nelson a lot of credit. He has been all over here. That's his second one that he's picked up short on the baseline area.
Andrei Kirilenko fills up so many columns of the stat sheet, doing it here at the back end of what was a 24-2 run to erase an 18-point deficit, banking in a 3, keeping a play alive for a 2. Utah trying to go back-to-back through Miami and Orlando in a tight one. Miss Craig James, Jesse Palmer, Jen Brown will be in Connecticut for Pittsburgh UConn out of the Big East for our Thursday night football game tomorrow night on ESPN. Over on ESPN2 on Friday night, you'll see the number 4 team in the country make their weekly attempt at making a statement. Boise State takes on Idaho to start our college football weekend on ESPN. Game day Saturday is going to be in Columbus. Well, all the kids playing here in the new Amway Center have seen a big comeback by the road team as we take a look at our Mitsubishi game track. A terrific run, Hubie, that has really been ignited by the zone defense that Utah's played and Darren Williams' impact on every part of the game at both ends.
Mike, not only the points, but his decision-making has been excellent. The passing in traffic in the transition game. The zone has been beautiful. Orlando has missed their last 7 threes, all against the zone, and that is allowing Utah Jazz out in the open floor. Now, they're not blazing down and getting fast break points. What they're doing is scoring in transition in the secondary phase of their offense.
Magic play again on Friday against Toronto. I wonder what some of tomorrow's practice will be about. Working on his own?
We know it's going to happen. An awful lot of teams are using it now. Yeah, and some of them are using it especially in the 4th quarter.
Which means you, as an offense, have to be ready with an answer for it every night. Darren Williams, good fake, and a take.
Great fake. Remember he told you he was struggling with his shot. He's now 6 for 17 in the game, but in the second half, he's just been beautiful to watch. The head faking, the good passing. They're matching up right now, still in the zone. They're matching up 2-3 with Miles out on top.
And Carter stops the slide of 7 consecutive missed triples to give the Magic a 3-point lead.
Well, see, there, Millsap knows that he was late getting there. That was inexcusable because that was not a diagonal pass. That pass came around the horn.
Millsap trying to stay with Miles, almost had him open. Williams responds by rattling home a 3. You got Rondo, you have Paul, you have Rose, and a lot of good point guards. Darren Williams right there with them all. Missed 3 by Lewis, rebound Millsap. Utah for the lead.
This guy is the perfect size player. He's 6'3", over 200, extremely strong and great vision.
Oh, Jefferson with a quick step around Gortat. He doesn't have Dwight Howard to contend with, so Al Jefferson gives Utah the lead, and here comes Howard with those 5 fouls.
See, I like that move. Anytime that you have a guy that you know you can get with that second dribble. Now, Gortat did not go up to try to block the shot. Watch how they uses the rim right here. He used that rim perfectly. Al Jefferson, great move.
So Howard in with 5. He sat for 3.5 minutes. Gortat back to the bench. We talk about Utah playing a back-to-back. Jefferson played almost not at all in the second half. He was struggling mightily last night. And when Jerry Sloan went to a different combination, Jefferson didn't play. And he was okay with it. He understands, but he will be fresh and rested here tonight. Lewis finds Redick, who's sitting down on the bench.
Well, he honestly thought that he was standing in that corner.
That's where he is.
Yeah,
that's his place.
I know. Don't be wise. That was Orlando's 20th turnover in this game. 11 in the first half, 9 in the second half.
2 Orlando players collide, and we have an injury on Brandon Bass for a second. Now he gets up. He was holding his leg. Meantime, Utah scored as the 2 players went down. It's a 5-point Jazz lead. Millsap again. Give him 23.
Got to go right there.
Millsap came over.
What a great steal on the double team, and that was a clean steal.
Turnover 21. Williams been taking everybody's lunch money here in this half. Millsap. Short.
Oh, look out long.
Williams with a great hustle deflection. Oh, what a play. What a player. Darren Williams.
Might as well be Darren Williams, right? Because he's done everything else. I mean, that was a great play. And give Orlando a lot of credit because they released the guy on this play. And Williams, watch how he has to hustle back here right now. He comes from the opposite side in order to make that deflection.
I know some NFL coaches I see would like a free safety play like that out of nowhere to knock it away. The Magic had an 18-point lead in this one. Bass. Millsap meets him, but a foul.
One big difference as a plus for Orlando. Bass is an excellent foul shooter. He's shooting over 91% this year.
Technical foul on Millsap. Conversation after the play.
Well, that was a strong play offensively and a strong defensive rotation going for the shot block. You do not want to give a guy a dunk in a situation. You got to force him to make the foul shot. Now, you do not like the fact that you get a technical in that deal because they send one of their better foul shooters to the line.
Melton makes it, 4-point game, and now the free throws off the personal foul to be taken by Bass. And very similar to the Dwight Howard situation. It was not something wild. Again, you never know what is said. It was Millsap in conversation, frustrated about it.
Yeah.
And really didn't say anything. That was it. That's what got him the tee.
Well, Mike, this game has been refereed the same from the first quarter when they threw the ball up.
It has. But I think we're both in the same boat about the rule. We appreciate what they're trying to do.
Maybe the law in a close game.
Gosh, the guy didn't do much, really. Good hands by Nelson. Slapped it right to Kirilenko. There's 6 to shoot. It's Al Jefferson working on Dwight Howard.
Oh, boy. Now that was from about 10 feet out, Mike. And that was a quick push shot.
Good bounce back night for Jefferson after the struggles last night where he was 1 of 7. Carter in flight.
The zone broke down that time. Anytime that you can get off the dribble into the paint, you can see what happens. It's an open area, and if the back man doesn't come up, you get a free look.
Williams trying to get some space on. Nelson's going to come out to get the ball.
What time here?
Millsap free at the top. Kirilenko kept it alive. Jefferson finished.
That's great team play. Not only was the shot missed, but you get the first guy out of position, and then you honestly keep it alive, and then your second guy scores.
Carter tried to move it around. It was kicked off Kirilenko. You know what I love in this? The guy off the bench who's clapping and applauding. Is the guy who's over there who's in the Hall of Fame who's 68 years old, Jerry Sloan. 1,764 games as a head coach. Hundreds of others as an assistant and a player. Doesn't matter. Still has the passion. So is this guy, Tim Duncan, on his way to Spurs history the next couple of nights. Clip Spurs coming up next.
Studio with the SportsCenter Endgame, our colleague, our friend, Hall of Famer Magic Johnson, watching the Wizards and Rockets and watching John Wall, the rookie, put on a Magic Johnson-type performance. Wall with the steal here, and then one of his 13 assists, triple-double. His first career, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists. He also added 6 steals, 4 steals away from a quadruple-double. But in doing so, John Wall becomes the 3rd youngest guy ever with a triple-double. Only LeBron and Lamar Odom were younger. And check this out. You saw Magic Johnson. Wall 10 days younger than Magic was when Magic had his first triple-double. 20 years, 65 days. Magic, 20 years, 75 days, guys.
All right, Stuart, thank you. Also for Houston, they lose Yao Ming in that game with a left foot injury, and they fall to 1-6. Star of this night, Darren Williams for Utah. Hubie.
Well, Mike, he definitely has the feel from the shooting angle. The three-pointers are there. He's 3 for 7 from there. The assists, 14 assists. His passing in traffic, just great to watch. Coaching, moving without the ball. This guy will get it to you. He's the total player. He's a defender. He can score the ball. He rebounds the ball. His vision is great. And he's running a great 2-3 zone here at the top in the coverage.
Carter deep to Howard inside, and a foul beforehand as Dwight made a deep catch. And the defense collapsed around him.
Well, there's nothing they can do about that. Anytime that they get that one-on-one low and they play behind him in the zone, they've got to get the ball to Howard. And then what you must do is you cannot allow him to dunk the ball when he's that close to the rim. You've got to foul him and force him to go to the line where he is, 3 for 9 tonight.
Three for 10. NBA Friday, you will see Utah continue this magical run they are on right now against Atlanta. Hawks have a tough night tonight. That's at 7 Eastern. Then Friday night, we'll have Brandon Roy and the Blazers take on Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City. So that's our NBA Friday action coming up. Clippers Spurs next. A lot to do still here as Howard splits the pair. The Jazz lead is 3 with 100 seconds in regulation. Darren Williams with C.J. Miles, Millsap, Kirilenko, and Jefferson. Williams fakes right, comes left. Good hands by Nelson. Caught by Jefferson. 5 to shoot. Quick over Howard. He gets rid of it before he can block.
I don't know how he gets it off. Yeah. I'm telling you. Howard looked like he was going to catch it. Never mind block it. But it's just so quick on that release. He shoots it on the way up.
Brandon Bass. Kirilenko there to alter the shot. The Jazz by 5 with the ball with a minute left.
Not only are they getting them to miss, Mike, but they've cut down the second chance points. They're doing a terrific job now in rebounding the ball. This is smart. Spread them out. We've got a 5-point lead here right now.
Millsap, the closer last night. Williams sees the shot clock, takes it deep 2, and knocks it down again. Oh, man, what a night for Darren Williams.
A great defensive move by the coaching staff, Jerry Sloan, going to the 2-3 zone, staying with it, making substitutions out on the perimeter to give guys a break so they can keep up the coverage. Mike, this is just a sensational shot with the clock down.
And a great comeback, too. We'll follow the Jazz train. They'll probably fall behind by double digits in Atlanta early on, then see if they come back. 7 Eastern on ESPN Friday night. Then Portland taking on Oklahoma City. Our NBA Friday for you here on ESPN. Last night, they scored 72 in the second half to force overtime with Miami. Tonight, 63 second half points, and we're talking elite defensive teams, Hubie.
Correct. They're going against 2 of the best that we have in the East and 2 of the best in the entire league. Half-court defense. Their execution has been terrific.
And the 2 comebacks, down 18, down 22 the last 2 games. Carter missed the 3, and a foul here. They are down 18 tonight. So that would be 3 consecutive games coming back from down 18 or more if Utah holds on for these last 42.7 seconds.
Now, the toughest thing is that once you shoot and miss, you force one up, all right, in that situation. When you foul Williams, we know that he's an 80+% shooter every year that he's in the league.
And Magic had a foul to give, so even the help that they would get by getting the ball back and hoping they split the free throws doesn't benefit Stan Van Gundy's team here. This will be a tough second loss for the Magic to take on the season as Williams is fouled. You know, we're talking about back-to-backs and playing back-to-backs. Jerry Sloan told us a great story. Remember, Jerry Sloan was the original Bull, he was called. His number retired at the old stadium, now the United Center in Chicago. He said, you know, I don't want to hear about back-to-backs. When I was a rookie and playing in Baltimore, he said, we played in Baltimore, St. Louis, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and then New York in 5 consecutive nights.
That's right. And remember, no private planes, right? They're flying commercial.
He has seen it all, done so much. The Hall of Famer, and he's the longest tenured coach with one team in North American professional sports, and has re-upped for another year. And we asked him why. Why still? What still brings you to the gym every day? 2 more for Williams. And he said, nights like last night, you never know when you're going to find an antique. Something you're not looking for it, and all of a sudden there's something beautiful there. And tonight, it's got another antique.
One of the truly great competitors of all time. Van Leer and Sloan. Look out.
Yep. Timeout, Orlando. Down 9 with 42 seconds to go. The Jazz know all too well, don't give up on a game. They scored, one guy scored 11 points in 28 seconds last night as they made a furious comeback against Miami. But this is an 18-6 run to get the Jazz back in this one.
Now they're playing man-to-man out of this timeout. That was a good move also.
Almost turns it over. Quentin Richardson takes the deep 3. It's an air ball collected by Williams. And Jameer Nelson fouls him with 34.2 to go.
No, I like that. They allowed Orlando to go into their timeout. If they prepared for against the 2-3 zone, Jerry Sloan comes out of the timeout defensively and changes his defense and goes man-to-man because he's going to match up and not allow you to get an uncontested 3.
Mention the Magic will play next on Friday against Toronto. Then they have the Nets. Utah continues that road trip at Atlanta on ESPN. 65-point second half to be added on in a great fourth quarter for D. Will. I know Rondo, and I'm not taking anything away because Rondo's been great with his assists and all the things he does in the first few games. So, you know, just hold the phone. We are Mike Green says it best. We talk to Mike so often about this off the air over the last couple of years. We have such an obsessed society with putting a star on the paper. You're the best. Let's have a vote. Let's have a poll. Who's the best? You know what? I'll take anyone. They are pretty darn special players. Lewis at 3. Finally.
Rondo is the perfect point guard for the Boston Celtics because he's a great defender. He's a great rebounder. Next to Jason Kidd, the best point guard rebounder we have in the league. Then when you also look at Darren Williams is the perfect point guard for this system because he gives it up. He runs down on the baseline. He sets screens. He sets back screens. He posts up. He does so many different things. His job description is totally different than Rajon Rondo. Both guys are perfectly matched for the teams that they run.
What Chris Paul does for New Orleans, their undefeated start, outstanding. What Derrick Rose does with the Bulls as they now have Tom Thibodeau as their head coach. All these guys just so good. It's just a great time to watch the NBA. This great generation, if not greatest generation of point guards. Don't forget Russell Westbrook, Oklahoma City, and they're coming up on Friday night. Closing seconds. Carter looks for Howard. Duhan got a screen from Howard. He and Kirilenko were battling. Rebounded by the Jazz, and that will do it. The Utah Jazz, 72 points in the second half last night, 69 points in the second half tonight. For the third straight game, they come back from down 18 to come away with a victory. 104-94. Not many people are going to do that, folks. Beat Miami and Orlando on back-to-back nights, 2 of the best in the league. With Hall of Famer Hubie Brown, our great ESPN team, Mike Tirico, good night from Orlando. We send you to Mark Jones and Mark Jackson.
This